once again, this time my friends for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found, I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
Good evening, all of our Southern Fried Podcast fans and all you people out there in Cornbread Nation. Happy Monday evening. How's Dave tonight?
I am good. I've had a busy day. It's been good. Got some work done, and feel a lot better than I did last night. So I'm happy. It's been a good Monday.
Hi there, Michael. Glad you're here to keep us straight tonight.
Howdy, howdy.
We got people popping in already. We're glad to have you. Well, you've made it through the worst day of the week. We got through Monday.
No, this week that's not true. I'm on different with you on that because it's holiday week. The hardest day to get through is the last day of work before the holiday. That's going to be the hard day.
I don't know. It's still Monday. And then Wednesday's going to be like Friday. And then Friday's going to be like Monday. Because most people are just off for Thanksgiving, not off for Friday. I think that's hard. So we got 2 Mondays this week when you think about it. We got a month Friday. Oh, Friday Monday, something. I don't know what we're going to call it. Well, I think Black Friday is probably the best thing to call it. We'll just call it Black Friday.
Black Friday.
Yes.
I can tell you I'm staying the heck away from Black Friday shopping. Online I have no problem with. Going out and all that chaos, forget it.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure?
I
would go out there and shop Black Friday.
Nah, he'd end up in jail.
He's having a bad echo. Better not be having a bad echo. Well, it might be me being loud. I don't know. Oh,
I don't know.
Good. All right. So what we got going on for Mama Said tonight?
Oh, I got something.
What you got going on?
I got something in the back pocket. A good Southern boy always does.
Oh. What is it, a biscuit and gravy crumbled up back there?
No. You know better than that. You know better than that.
Have you got your Christmas decorated up yet?
I'm not doing that till Thanksgiving here. I'm honoring Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm gonna do that too, but Christmas just around the corner.
Well, give Thanksgiving its due diligence, and then then do the rest. I figured Michael would have a story on that.
I bet you do have some good Black Friday stories.
Well, he said he worked one. He wouldn't do it again.
Well, what do you think about the judge dismissing the election interference case against Trump?
Well, he said he worked one. He wouldn't do it again. Well, I mean, I don't doubt it on these. Like I said, it's the state level's the one. I mean, I mean, it's good to hear. It's about time, but
Yeah.
it's the ones that's the other ones I'm most interested in hearing about, or waiting to see if they do something with.
Well, this is one gone. So
Well, is it? Wait a minute. You say it's gone. What does that
the
mean?
judge dismissed it.
Or they said they were preparing to. Is that finally done? Is that official, or is that we're going to?
No, I think that's official.
Because the late news
Uh,
I saw was that they
a
had
judge
planned to
has,
do that.
this is off Fox. A judge has dropped the charges against President-elect Donald Trump in the D.C. case against him, following a request that special counsel Jack Smith made on Monday.
Okay, good. I always have to be clear about that stuff because until something's done, it can always be
Undone.
not
So
done.
yeah, this is a done deal.
But
This is done.
that's one of several things.
Yes. Uh,
And honestly, this one was not going anywhere anyway. I don't think. I don't think this is not the one that I was most concerned with. I figured this one would fall apart. Not being a know-it-all or anything, I just think that this one was a little bit easier to navigate with the Supreme Court ruling and everything. I don't think they had anywhere much they could go with that.
and really and truly, this thing in New York with the 37, whatever, that needs to go away too, because that's all crap. There was no crime. Nobody has mentioned a crime yet. So
Well,
how
we'll
can you
see.
find somebody guilty if there's no crime? It's crazy.
I was doing maintenance at Walmart, and they had us getting buggies and loading cars. One woman knocked another one out, and people waiting for laptops to go on sale with children standing 5 to 6 hours.
Oh wow.
It's like listen, if somebody out there goes to these things, don't take offense. But if you think about it, it's kind of like a massive human experiment to just see what they can get people to do for the sake of a deal. It's very much a psychological thing,
Yeah.
that they show. They didn't take. Good Lord, that's what I mean. I mean, it's like rats in a cage, and they're seeing how long they can get them to go without feeding them, and it's like a massive human experiment. I mean, I
Oh my
talked to
God.
the folks at Walmart that I was at, and I asked them about it. And they said one day they were pushing against the door so hard they couldn't get them open. They
Oh,
had to get the police to back the people up, and there were people that got knocked down, stepped on, ran over once the doors was finally open. I question the sanity of doing stuff like that.
yeah. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Now, I'm going to say this. I did go Black Friday shopping one time at the happiest place on earth, in my opinion, at the Bass Pro Shop. The first year that it was open there up in Port there, or East Ridge. And I'll have you know, while we were standing outside that morning, they brought out donuts to everybody standing in line.
I, that's cool. I just want to this whole idea, this phrase you said, the happiest place on earth. What in the world is that? Really? Come on, man. As Joe would say, come on, man.
Bass Pro
Happiest
Shop.
place? Oh, come on, man. Happiest place on earth.
Place.
So
That's
so the
a
hap so the happiest place on earth for you is a place that you're not walking out less than $100 bought. I mean, because you can't go in there and buy 2 or 3 things. You're spending $100, man. That's
No,
the
I
happiest
really
place
went
on
out
earth.
spending $100. I'm telling you, I can't.
That's
I
the
don't have,
happiest
I
place on
don't have
earth.
Bass Pro. Huh?
What in the world makes it happy?
Oh man, you got all the stuff a fisherman needs in there, man.
No,
Oh,
no, they got all the stuff a fisherman don't need, but they tell themselves that they need it and they need to spend the money on it.
right, right. Exactly. That's what I said.
Michael getting the flirts from the woman, huh?
Oh, what would you do for a laptop?
Don't answer that. Don't, don't answer that. Programming
Oh,
alert.
I'm going to tell you this. That boy right here do some sketchy stuff for Klondike. I'm not
We're
supposed to
going
eat any.
we're going downhill already.
No, we're
Now,
not.
folks, we're going to get into the show. Her husband put her up to it. My gosh, what is he, a pimp? Ain't that pimping your wife? I mean, come on. See what I mean? Just
Yeah.
lunacy, man. Lunacy.
Mm.
We're going to talk about Southern sayings and their real meaning here in a few minutes, but not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Let's get into the program a little bit. Let's
Okay.
talk some chat and other things, and then we're going to talk about some sayings that Southern people say and what they really mean.
Mm. Okay. Never try Friday. Okay. Um. So in other news, or I would say this is really news, but this transgender volleyball player that's been making waves all season, the judges ruled that she could play through. Well, bless his heart. So it's not women's sports this year for them. It's co-ed. So I just don't they have co-ed leagues and stuff like that?
They
What?
do.
No, Rob, don't. That's not very nice. That's not very nice. Mm, my goodness, that is not very nice. That hurt my feeling a little bit. I think there might be a tear right here. If you look hard, you might see it. It's right there.
That's not what I see when I look in your eyes. That's
Mm,
like George W. Bush looking at Putin when he said, I see KGB." So I don't see tears.
um, you know what you might see?
I'm afraid to ask.
You might see the chupacabra, Dave. The chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
That's right.
By the way, the guys, the Green Eyes Festival, I saw them. They cut a little reel at the Wilder Tower, telling them I like what they're doing, and I'm so happy we're going to be there next year.
Yes.
Um, we are going to be there. I love it,
Mm.
love it, love it, love it.
We got several
And
places.
we've got a handful of festivals we're going to do. So
Oh yeah.
dang,
Oh
Skippy,
yes.
thanks for liking the program there, Michael. We appreciate that.
Oh yeah. Oh, he liked it already. Well,
He
well
did.
Mike liked your heart too.
He did.
Oh, Michael, how's the back doing? You haven't given us an update yet.
Yeah, we need to know. I talked to Cook today, Cowboy Cook.
Yeah.
He actually sent me a song. Um, he's a pretty good singer. Let's see if I can find out. See if you can hear this. Where did he put that? Let's see. I'm trying to remember what he put it on.
Yeah.
Not on
His
that one.
phone.
Here it
He
is.
put it on his phone.
No, I'm talking about where at did he send it to me?
Oh.
So let
Oh.
me find it. Let's see. Let's see if I think you'll like this, Rob. Let's see if you can hear this. Hang on
Okay,
a second.
I'm listening close.
Suitcase you've been packing. You sit down and talk to me a while. I know you tried to tell me what was lacking. Guess I must have missed it by a mile. Girl, this time I promise that I'll listen. Try to figure out what I went wrong.
That's the Cookster.
Breaking up, and I can't hear the music part,
There's no
but he
music.
sounds
It's
like
just
he's
him.
about to spill over
That's
into his beer.
that's a cappella, man. He's singing some
Oh,
Travis Tritt.
well, I got that, but he sounds like he's so sad he's about to pour over right in his beer.
He don't
I don't,
drink, dude.
I know he don't drink. I said sounds like. Mm.
No, Rob, you need nice lessons. You're not being nice. I thought it was
I
nice,
am
man.
being
Come
nice.
on. He
I
said that
didn't
was
say he
nice.
was
That
sad.
was
He
nice
had
to hear when I got
feeling.
off work.
He was singing with feeling and soul. I was enjoying it. It
And
just sounded.
you made it into a beer comment. Come on, man.
Oh, come on, man. Go, come on there. I got to respond to Michael here, so don't be going too much.
Man, Rob cracking on a Monday night, man. What the world? It's Monday, man. Michael's back is better. Got to work on other parts of the body now. Coffee is good tonight. By the way, it pays to have friends. I had at work. They have the they provide us the K cups for different things. You know, we don't pay for it though. But they don't have my Black Rifle that I have here, but coffee company. But they did have some Folgers, but they're going to something else. That's my favorite, the Folgers. So I was telling the
Oh,
guy about it.
nice.
He don't have no control over it. He come in today. I was training a guy. He said, "Hey, I got you something." He found an unopened box. He found two. He said, "I'm bringing you one." He said he found it I forget where he said he found it. It wasn't at our facility. It was another one. And he thought about me. I said, "It's nice to have friends.
Oh,
Be the squeaky wheel. Somebody will help you out."
there. See, I'm being nice to Michael. Don't work on too much.
I don't know about. I don't know if I would call that nice. Whoo boy,
Tighten the flaps and loosen the rudders. Uh,
that's rough, man.
well,
Come
that's
on,
not rough.
man.
I'm saying like I'm just, hey, you don't need to work on much.
Oh, okay. Let's just spin this around. Let's just spin this around. Let's
Okay.
pretend you're single and you go out somewhere and you're talking to a lady, you're trying to impress her, and you use that statement. Are you getting a date? And if you do, I hate to think of what kind of date you're getting.
Look,
Come on, man.
look. If Michael is taking dating advice from me, he's not really looking for a date to start with. Okay? Come
I'm not
on,
saying
man.
I wasn't
We got
saying he
to
was.
quit now.
I'm saying
We
that
got to
was a
stop the
bad
come on
comment,
man.
man.
We got to stop the come on man. Those are going to get back. Uh,
I like it. That's the one thing I'm going to remember about him. Come on, man. That and corn pop.
you know what I'm going to remember? You know, I come from a middle class family, and we used to water our lawns, as you will. Hmm. Oh, that was priceless, dude. That whole campaign was priceless. Oh, Dave, I got big news from Walmart.
What's that?
They're looking to roll back DEI policies.
Well, there's a bunch of companies going to be posting that because I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah.
tell you, it's not gaining them points anymore. Now, let me say, let me be fair here. There are certain parts of that we don't need rolled back because if you read the full thing about it, I would just say in the way it was used is the problem we have. There are certainly things that we don't want to go on in the workplace that everybody can agree on. Discrimination is discrimination, but what was happening with these policies is at times they were being used as a battering ram against others. So and really you were working against what it was for.
Yeah.
So those things have always been there. They just rephrased it and it took on a whole new meaning on a federal level. That was the problem. I mean, nobody wants discrimination in their workplace, but it was how they were using that to say what was discrimination and justifying certain things.
Yeah.
I would just say that as a clarification on that, because if you look at that, I mean, there are things that we can all agree on. There's things that we didn't like. So, but you're going to see more and more companies because, it's bad. Those things are bad for business. What I would look for actually is probably being called something else, renaming of them. Pain in the knee replacement, shoulder replacement needed, right foot surgery, whichever I can afford. Doctor.
There, I said something nice for Michael. He could be the bionic man.
He's going to be the $6 man. Is that what you're saying? The six.
Better, stronger. Yes, I got him. There.
I wonder if somebody. I'm sure there's been a study done. That was a $6 million man in late '70s, mid to late '70s. What would be the cost of that today with inflation and?
We don't want to go there. It's gonna be sad. Hey, Michael, I'm gonna throw this out there here just for a minute. As far as the black community civil rights will handle that. Those civil rights are supposed to apply to everybody. To everybody. So it should handle it for everybody. Just wanted to put that out there. And that's my and this right here I will absolutely agree with. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to hire a thief for that position, where it be a man, woman, or whatever.
Yeah, what their lifestyle is like has nothing to do with it. It's what kind of how do they manage? What kind of employee are they? I mean, it's everybody's business what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Live their life and everything. I mean, I may not agree with it, but that's the freedoms we have. But a sorry person is a sorry person is a sorry person. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just bad people in life, and and they come in all forms and shapes and sizes and backgrounds. I've worked with a lot of bad people over my career.
Yeah.
Fortunately, a lot more better than bad, but I've had a lot of bad.
Yeah. But I try. One of the hardest things I ran into as a manager was I made it very clear that in a meat market, we work with sharp stuff and stuff that's made to actually dismember what we're made of. Meat. And I put out pretty stern warnings that there are certain things that I would not tolerate: drug use, alcohol, stuff like that, because I don't want anybody to get hurt. And there were times when I had to step in, and there'd be people in the world and have to make a decision and decide based on their safety. You know, love them to death, but had to make a decision like that. It had nothing to do with them personally. It was a safety issue, but you know, that's the kind of the way you could approach the DEI stuff. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the person or nothing like that, but it's just other stuff muddles it up. Yeah, am I thinking right there?
Well, I mean, you're never gonna, I'm just purely looking at it from that straightforward. There are things we don't like, there are things we don't agree with, and that comes in all forms. We don't know just because of somebody how they may do publicly, and we could see that and identify, see how they do, and we may say that's horrible, that's awful. But how do you know a person that dresses normal and you don't know goes home and does the same thing? I mean, again, I just there's the citizen standpoint here, and there's the spiritual standpoint.
Yes.
And I think we have to be careful there because we're not. I think everybody knows where I stand as a Christian, and our nation is founded on the Bible and Christian things. But at the same time, as a country, you have freedom.
Yes.
And you have to be very careful because when if you infringe on freedom one way, that can circle right back and infringe on your freedoms. And freedom is freedom. And we can, as a society, we have had social norms which have been wrong and should be wrong, but on a purely legal basis. We may not like everything that goes on, but it's legal. To give you an example, flag burning. I don't like flag burning, dude. That bothers me. But is it legal to do? Yes, it is. And I get you, Michael. I'm not going to put that up because I get what you're saying, but the citizen aspect is not. Yes, the laws are based upon those principles, but freedom is freedom, and there's always been things within our country we didn't care for. Always, it's just maybe more pronounced now, more widespread, or maybe not. Maybe we just didn't know what was going on. But I get it, Mike. I get it. That's on that spiritual level. That's not on the citizen level. And you have to look at that. Our guiding document, our founding document in America is the Constitution.
Yep.
And also, the other documents, Declaration of Independence, and yes, there's been amendments, and there's things have been added, things have been changed, but that has been the guiding principle for our nation. The document. All of our leaders, our founding fathers, all of them were not Christian.
And while there are Christian beliefs that we hold near and dear to our hearts and in our beliefs, that we hold near and dear there, that other people don't see it that way, but they're still citizens. And they have
you have the freedom to worship or not worship, believe or not believe, whatever you want. That is freedom.
Michael, if you wanted to go out tomorrow wearing a dress, as a citizen, you would have every right to do so if that's what you chose to wear. I'm not saying you would, but you get what I'm saying. You can if you want to. If you want to go out tomorrow wearing hip waders, in the sunshine, that's your choice. Or if you wanted to go out tomorrow and wear a wig and cover up that pretty hair you got on your head.
I just think we live in a day and time where there's quite a bit more people. It's not the majority, but quite a bit more people want to push the envelope as hard as they can. And, whatever the reasons are, they do that. There are many. It's certain things, there's certain things that I don't want There's certain things I don't want around me, but they have the freedom to do it.
Right.
And, that's just like the internet or television or whatever. There are things that I don't like there, but I turn it off or I turn the channel. I choose to use it in a better way.
Yeah.
And, there's been times in my life when I probably used it the wrong way. So again, we have the freedom to do things, and that is the beauty of freedom. And so, like I said, you have to be careful, because if you trample one thing, it goes the other way. Again, I know there's problems. There are problems. There's things I don't agree with. Some of the lawsuits and stuff. I think it has been. Yeah, they do have the freedom to do that, Michael. Absolutely, they have the freedom to do that. In this country, we're not walking around with clubs or electric shocks or arresting people and throwing them in jail based on what they believe, as far as if they have a religion or a belief system or whatever. In some countries around the world, you absolutely get done that way, or can be done that way. Like that poor girl in Iran beat to death because she went against the dress code of that culture that they enforce, no matter what somebody believes or not. And
Right.
I may not like how things. I mean, let's get there. To go out in public now it's hurtful to the eyes many times, the things that people wear. But
Yeah.
I don't want people with clubs and electric shocks and taking people away in a van, never to see them again in our country. I mean, freedom is freedom.
Yeah.
And we have laws and ordinances and stuff that hopefully will manage a lot of it. But people are pushing that envelope and challenging those things. That's why it's important to run for office. That's why it's important to be involved in the in our government at some level, if from a voter or getting involved like Travis Middleton and trying to run for school board or whatever it is to get involved and have good, solid, conservative, people on those things, because there's definitely a push to fill those commissioner seats and all that with, in some cases,
Yeah.
with enough to get the vote to change things radically in some areas, and that has happened, and that's unfortunate. But they have the
One,
freedom, they have the
one,
vote, and they have the freedom to do it.
one of the things I really hate to see that absolutely disgusts me is grown men walking around with their pants around their knees. Why? I don't understand that. I don't care. That's almost exposing yourself. You got your underwear or your shorts on, whatever underneath, but that's not something. If you have children that you want them exposed to, you know,
I get it. I don't like it, but do you want a law that says you have to wear your pants at a certain height? You see what I mean?
well, it has to.
They're not exposed. I mean, I think culturally, people either deal with it or accept it or just ignore it or whatever. But it's done that way, so you
Yeah.
get a response. That's the rebellion of youth. I mean, and that's always been there.
Um,
They push the envelope, and I get it. I hate it, but you would hope that you work with people and bring them to the point where they want to dress like a gentleman or a lady or whatever, and those things are taught at home. And as a dad, I enforced that in my family.
yeah.
I had to deal with it. It was getting very popular when my sons were in school. I had one son that he didn't want to go real far with it, but he wanted to go further than I wanted him to do. And we had a quick meeting, and I listened to his side, and then I made the ruling because I was the law. And we come to a place that I could give him some freedom to a degree that I was comfortable with, and we never had to deal with it again.
Yeah. Well, if your
And
butt's
it's
hanging
never
out,
it's well, the butt wasn't hanging out, but I gave him liberty to not. And again, that was, I'm not saying what anybody else should do. I'm just saying that's what we did, and it became a non-issue. We handled it, became a non-issue. And as a dad, I'll just say, I don't care if my sons are 50 years old. If they were doing that, I'd go call them on it. But that's me. That's the standard that I've set in my family. The girls in my family know my expectation. If you're going somewhere with me, there's acceptability of things, there's not acceptability. There's a line that's not crossed.
right?
Again, those standards are different in every family. You cannot find consensus, I promise you this.
No.
And even among those that think they're the most conservative people, you will not find consensus across the board. You won't find it. So it is up to the local standard. I'm the local standard in my home. You know, I'm the local standard when you want to go on vacation with me or you want to go out to eat with me. I'm the local standard. And they know not to even ask. What they do at home, or, I don't know. But they know how I feel, and they know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. So, and we've talked about that at length. Me and my grandkids used to go through stores and we would talk about what's acceptable and what's not acceptable on the fashions and things that were available. And to be honest, I talked very little. They told me.
Yep.
And I would say, you're absolutely, and I never disagreed with them. They were always correct. They knew because they've been taught. So,
Now, see, this is at school. You have dress codes. I can, you have certain ways you're supposed to present yourself at school. I can go
they
along
can
with
they can have a dress code,
yes,
and they do have dress codes.
yeah. So I agree with them doing that in that circumstance. Um, but okay, I think we beat that rabbit enough. I think our views on that are clear.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying the conversation. So,
Okay,
I think it's a good. Because I'll tell you, there's a lot of opinion about it. I mean, and to go down that road, there's a lot of people. There's some that agree and some that don't. That schools should wear the uniforms. But then people say, "Well, I can't afford the uniforms. We wear what we can afford." So you get into a lot of issues when you talk about that. This is Mama said, and Mama says a lot of stuff. Mamas go down to schools a lot and deal with this.
my thought on school uniforms, if they're required, they should be furnished. That is my thought.
That's not the way that works, brother.
I'm just saying. But I mean,
Are you going to pay for? Are you going to pay for it with your tax dollars?
If that's what
That's
the school requires,
Because that's where it comes from. And I can tell you, there's not enough money for the supplies in the school, much less buying the school uniforms. They give them the color and what they should wear, and then they have to go buy it. And that's where you get some differences there, is because people say, look, I can't afford to buy that, but here's what I can do. But I'm going to tell you right now, in most schools, the dress codes are not being followed. The codes are there. I've got several children, that I drop off to school, some elementary, some middle school, and that is a discussion sometimes. Pulling up to the school, is this person is not following the dress code, and nobody says anything to them, and they will point out to me what. Again, I have the local standard. My kiddo is not going to school dressed out of bounds, but there are kids that push the envelope and they don't say anything. So even though there's a dress code, it's not enforced most of the time, although at some points it might be. But they will tell you, if you want to get down, the kids will tell you what is happening. I'm sure on a administration standpoint, they would say we enforce the rules. The kids will tell you not always happening. They let people get away with stuff and they don't say anything to them.
Wow.
So that's one school, but I'd say that's probably goes as probably happens a lot across the country,
I'd say
because
so.
they're so busy trying to deal with everything else. This is something they do. I mean, honestly, you went to school for 4 years or however long you got your degree, or you went to another 2 years, 6 years, you got your master's. you've got you become an educator and you want to teach, I don't know, mathematics. And you go into the school to teach mathematics and you spend your time trying to make sure everybody's dressed right. It really is depressing to a teacher.
Yeah, I can see that.
It should be managed at home. You also got parents that are not wise, and kids will take clothes and change into them at school and stuff. They go out the door looking fine. They ride with somebody, or they got it in a backpack, and they change when they get to school and go in the bathroom and change. And if they can get away with it, they get away with it.
And kids are like that. We were
Sure,
like
kids
that.
kids push the envelope. That's the rebellion of youth. Not all kids, but I'm saying there's a lot that do it.
Yeah.
You know. Well, that's like, what's big in ripped clothing. Ripped clothing is big, man. Kids want to wear ripped clothing. They want to show the midriff, especially the girls. And that's something that, I mean, there has been times where, Kaylee would put on something and I would say, no. And she'd say, well, it's acceptable. I said, not for my standard. It wasn't nothing bad, but it was still something I wasn't comfortable with. And I said, not going to wear it. That's my standard. I don't care what their standard is. This is my standard.
Right.
So we find those things that she likes, that she feels comfortable in, that makes her feel good as a young lady, and that I'm okay with my standard. And it's not a war. I know there are times that it gets, I'm sure she's frustrated with me, and I mean, you still got to deal, preteen, teenager, all that. But if you set the standard, but you allow, again, it's all about finding a place that we both can live in, that we're okay. But you don't. Isn't that the way our country's supposed to work? Like we both sides of the aisle, we find a place that we both get something we want, we can live with it, and we sign a bill or a law or whatever it is. And the adults in the room can't agree to these things anymore. But when you can do that, that's what we should teach our children. Is give them a space, and then within this space, these boundaries, you're okay. It doesn't have to be rigid. It can be fine and acceptable and not be rigid. And it teaches them that if they can make a good argument, if they can, negotiate, if they can sit down and have an adult talk. Are we supposed to be teaching kids to be adults? They're going to be adults very soon. And I think this is an important thing. And if it's always just because I said so, and I'm fine with saying that, sometimes you just have to do that, but we're not teaching them anything. We're not teaching them how to navigate life. But one day they're going to be on their own. Then they just go, they may just go rebellious on you. And well, I'm 18 now. I can do what I want. I live on my own. And I want Kaylee to grow up, and that's one of my boys. I want them to grow up and be able to teach their kids, and find that place where, that you're able to express yourself, but at the same time, you're following all the standards. And it is possible. It is very possible to do that. That's happening, Michael. And I think it's happening at the very school that I'm talking about. And I'm going to follow up on it because I didn't know that was actually going on.
Yeah,
but again,
that's a distraction there again. But is that the parents, or is the kids doing on their own? Is it supported by the parents? I mean, what's going on there?
I'd say it's supported by the parents, and the administration is afraid to do anything with it for fear of lawsuit.
Or are they encouraging the behavior? I mean,
I wouldn't think they're encouraging it. I think they're just overwhelmed by what they're inundated with nowadays.
I mean,
it's not easy.
When you and I were going to school, if we went to school acting like that, they just send us home. They may not let us back in. Could you imagine us trying that? That would
it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't work. But looking back, though, there were things that went on when I was in school that I think were horrible. So I don't look back with rose-colored glasses and say, our schools did everything right. There were things that I saw that were not good.
We probably should have rode up in the school parking lot with shotguns hanging on our gun racks in the back of our truck. Probably shouldn't have been allowed.
Well, I mean,
Although I don't remember anybody ever getting shot.
No,
Then,
but that was a time when people were really teaching about them that used them, and they taught them from the earliest of ages. And I don't know that it was the smartest thing, but was allowed. Um, who knows? Maybe it was even against the rules, but nobody ever forced it because everybody believed in it. I have no idea if it was or not. I never went to school like that, but I had friends who did, that had the truck and the gun rack and did. They hunted. I didn't hunt. We didn't have weapons in the home when I grew up. My dad was the weapon, and he settled everything by a look, and if he the voice. We lived in a neighborhood where that was where we didn't see anything like that, and so it's the kind of neighborhood where you could leave your doors unlocked and nobody bothered. Neighbors looked out for you. So for us, we just didn't. It wasn't. We didn't see a need. We weren't against it. My dad was not against it, but and I'm sure he hunted when he was a kid, but he just didn't. We just never had one. The only weapon we had was a BB gun, the old Red Ryder, baby.
hey, you know what used to crack me up? There'd be guns out there in the school parking lot hanging on the gun racks, and they do knife checks in the school. When I look, see if
Yeah.
somebody's trying to take their pocket knife out of their pocket. I'm like, well, shoot. I asked Mr. David one day, the principal said, why are you checking us for a knife? You know, how many guns are out there on gun racks and they're pickups? What is that going to do? You go get somebody shot.
I mean, to a degree, it is, Michael. I get that. I asked Kaylee about it, and Kaylee said, "I just stay away from them. I just stay away from them. They're not. I don't want to be around that. I don't like how they act, and I just stay away from it. I have my friends. I do my work. I go home. I
Now,
get it, but she's navigating it.
Michael, I'm going to say something on this. That girl may have been a distraction, but that wasn't her fault. You shouldn't have been staring. Uh, just saying. I know you mean that. as a joke. I'm just joking along with you. We're going to have to call DEI on the cheerleaders for distracting the classrooms.
Or, I mean, he says staring. I mean, is that like, that could get a little creepy there. I mean, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be a little cool how you do that, Mark. I mean, you're like, you got the whole stare down going on, like you're not blinking your eyes.
Is this creepy yet, Michael?
Did he have that chupacabra look? I mean,
Uh,
oh,
but now, wait a minute. If you're here doing this, I got news for you. She didn't love it.
Michael, you didn't have any teachers that you stared at?
Careful, Dave. You may not want him to answer that. I'm just saying.
Uh,
Mama wouldn't want to know about that.
maybe not.
Now, how do
So
you know
what?
country girl? Was she missing a couple teeth in Dick Copenhagen?
Oh,
Well, hey, bud, come here, give me a kiss. Let me spit first.
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I'm sorry. Mama said girls aren't allowed to dip Copenhagen, neither are boys.
So who set the dress code for you, Rob? Was it mom or dad, or grandma or grandpa? What was the standard?
I actually set my own pretty much. I just didn't go out of the house dressed like a heathen. I wore my jeans and my t-shirts. You know,
Did you have those? Did you have the end of the jeans rolled up? Have your little cuff there that you dropped your cigarette butts into?
No, I did not.
Did you have a can of dip in the back pocket?
Behind my wallet so it wouldn't make the rain. Because my grandma watched for that. If I ever started getting one of them rings, I figured that out quick. If I was going to do it, I had to put it behind my wallet.
Did you have the t-shirts you wear? Were they just solid colors, or do you have like pictures on them, like you had Eric Estrada or something on the front for chips or
I didn't
something?
have any of the Eric Estrada. I did have one with this big green ugly monster thing. It said homework makes you ugly that I would wear every once in a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was voicing my opinion. I was expressing myself. See? Now, Michael, it depends on when the tear happened down here. You could be working out on the farm early that morning or doing some stuff and accidentally tear it on the way to school or something like that. Something come up, and you might have to go back and change when you got a chance, or your mom and daddy may have to bring you up there, if you didn't have time to make school on time, stuff like that happens. So that even
Tears
happened.
tears were acceptable as long as they had a big old patch on them. Some people had patches all over, like the knees and even the buttock area. And
Yeah. Yeah.
boys will be boys.
There was one kid that fell asleep in home ec, and he was wearing a button-up shirt, and he fell asleep, leaned back in his chair like this. And you know what them mean girls in that home ec class did to him? They took their scissors and very gently cut the buttons off that shirt.
Man,
Very gently. And he had a no button-up shirt for the rest of the day. His mama had to bring him something. But they told him if they bring that back, they saved the buttons. If they bring it back, they'd sell them on tomorrow. And they did.
didn't he know the rule that you don't fall asleep with everybody else is awake? I mean,
Dude, I don't know. Uh, my first 3 years of high school, I behaved well. I went to high school and probably did what I wanted to do for 4 years. Got worse as I got older. Let's see. In junior high and high, you had to buy your own clothes. I like to look nice because I wore homemade clothes for 6 years. Yeah, my grandmother and my mother, um, when I was probably up till I was a freshman in high school, they went to me to pick out clothes. Okay, and I had to go by what they said was acceptable. Now, my reward for doing that is I got to pick out my boots and stuff like that. So, and that's what I did.
and that's what you did.
Hmm.
Did you go? Did you get like clothes for enough to wear for like a week when school started? My mom always did that. Like you
Yeah,
got a week's worth of clothes. I mean, there was always something clean. That was a big time. I mean, I look forward to that. I got new shoes, new shirts, new pants,
I hated
socks, the whole deal.
I hated shopping. It wasn't good enough to know your size, but mom made me try on every blooming stick of clothes, like every pair of jeans, every shirt, every pair of underwear. Well, they may make them different, okay, but it's the same company, it's the same thing. I get, back then I got the Levi's 501s, you know, and 5 or 6 pair of those, and they were all the same, but I had to try every one of them. Oh my God, it was traumatizing. And why did we wear those? Did you wear the 501s? That's the button flies.
I never had those. My mom didn't buy those.
I don't know why we thought that was the thing and so cool. When I got in the Navy and I had to wear them 13 button dress blue breeches, I really didn't like them. My goodness. Could you imagine having to undo 13 buttons if you really had to go? I mean, come on.
That's funny.
I finally got smart. I took them to the dry cleaners and got them to sew the buttons on the outside and put Velcro on the inside.
Yeah.
hmm I think I was at E3 when I done that, and I had a petty officer. We had been at the bar back then. We were, it was a younger time for me. It was back in my earlier days, and I had to go, so I went into the restroom, and there was another petty officer there beside me that had his 13 button dress blues on, and I walk up and just. And he looked at me, and a tear run down his cheek, and he's like, "You're new, man, but you've come up with this amazing idea. I'm going to be taking every one of these down to the dry cleaners tomorrow." Oh, hey, I was singing the 501 blues. Come on now. Oh, that was hot.
Oh,
But I remember way back in the day getting a new pair of jeans that blew me
yeah.
up. It was really good. I don't remember. I think they were Rustlers or something when they first came out.
Yeah.
I never wanted to wear another pair of Rustlers since then. That wasn't any fun and not enjoyable.
Well,
All right, what you got in your back pocket? We've been waiting for an hour for you to break it out.
we're going to take a break,
Mm,
and then we're going to talk about it.
okay.
We need to do a commercial.
All right. Well, that's okay. I need to. Oh, I still got a couple.
I probably need to make some, but
Well,
need to let me run a couple of ads.
Well, run us a couple of ads. Let me get up and run away for just a second.
We'll be right back, folks. Stay with us. The Southern Fried Podcast wants you to know that Lane Funeral Home, Southcrest Chapel, here in Rossville, Georgia, is going to be having a holiday open house, and you're invited. This open house will be Thursday, December 12th at 9 a.m. Also, light breakfast and door prizes will be available. Remember, you are not alone when moments matter the most. Lane Funeral Home, Southcrest Chapel, at 833 Chickamauga Avenue, Rossville, Georgia. The telephone is listed there on the screen. Please plan to attend. The Southern Fried Podcast is pleased to announce our newest show called Southern Talk. We merged two shows called Manners and Mannerisms 101 into this new show that we felt would better fit our interest in talking all things Southern. So join us for Southern Talk, where we still cover all those manners and customs that we are known for in the South. But now we can expand the topics and reach of this show in a show called Southern Talk with Rob and Dave.
Hello, folks. Just got finished an interview with the Southern Fried Podcast about the upcoming movie called The Keeper. It's in movie theaters nationwide. It'll be streaming in November. It's about a veteran who attempted to hike the Appalachian Trail, successfully ended the trail while fighting his battle with PTSD. It's based on a true story. I hope y'all go see it. It has a wonderful message. It's a very powerful movie. But yeah, please go see it.
Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are. Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. You know, one of the favorite things that we do is sit out on the front porch with a glass of sweet tea and just talk about whatever. That's what you do on the front porch. Wave at the neighbors as they go by, or even a stranger. We're friendly people, and we like to just talk about whatever. You never know what Rob and Dave are going to talk about on the front porch, and sometimes Chris joins us, and then you really don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll laugh a little bit, we'll shock each other, and maybe, just maybe, you'll join in with us and chat with us on the front porch. Join us live for Front Porch Talking each Friday night at 7 p.m. at your friends here at the Southern Fried Podcast. And I'm back. Rob will be back in a minute. Stepped away. I'm still making my coffee, so if you hear a noise, that's good, fresh coffee being made. You have to have some coffee. Want to do a couple other things really quick as we just want to say a shout out to Angie's Decatur Diner, who I was with over the weekend. Great folks, and they gave me this nice mug to show, and they've offered gifts and stuff up there that you can buy. And we bought some stuff up there and had a good time with them. They're great people, and we appreciate them so very much. Angie's Decatur Diner, Decatur, Tennessee. If you're in the area, please stop in. That's the type of folks you want to eat with. They do breakfast all day long, much like some other restaurants I know. And I think that's nice they offer that, so it's pretty cool. We haven't talked about our friends at Three Ravens Publishing in a while, but we appreciate William Joseph Roberts and the Three Ravens. It came from the Trailer Park series, is just one of their many titles. And in fact, they also have these titles as well. There are a bunch of releases coming out. The reason I want to mention this tonight is they have a bunch of releases coming out for Black Friday. And so go to Three Ravens Publishing and keep up with them. They have a very active Discord channel as well. Just great folks. Again, for us, Dubby Energy Drinks, go to their website, use the promo code Southern Fried, and you get a 10% discount. It helps them keep going as people shop, and it helps us as well, and it saves you money. So give them a try. And then Mammoth Nation, we're affiliated with as well. Go buy American-made products, supportive of American veterans and American values. Great people. Use that QR code, sign up, and you'll be helping the podcast as well. And then there's a couple other ways you can help us. We do have a store as well. Any of our social media links will have the link to the store. So there's over 250 items in that store. And then there's PayPal and Venmo if you want to help. And we're not begging, but if you want to, we appreciate those things very, very much. And then finally, I want to mention our friends, a couple of things. In the greater Chattanooga area, the Chattanooga Food Bank is fixing to have their Christmas-a-thon, where the local Food City and Walmarts will have boxes set up, and you can donate into this great cause that helps over 20 counties plus with food. And so there's ways to go to their website and support that as well. Great folks. We appreciate Melissa Blevins for being on, and she'll be back when they get ready to kick this thing off. It's about another week or so that starts, but you can help them anytime. If you're in the local area, sign up and volunteer as well to help them. They depend a lot on volunteers to keep everything moving, and the need is great, and somehow they they keep getting it done. We appreciate all the partners and stuff that help out with that. They do bulk buying as well. And she has a real passion for what she does. And that, if you didn't see that interview, it's out there in our streams, the ones that we house the programs on, and go back and watch that. She was on one of our morning shows, and we appreciate her so very much. And lastly, this evening, our good friend Steve with Half Pine Forage, great friend of the program. Give his Rumble channel a hit and a follow, and look at those programs. I've watched the one for the spooky candle holder, and I'm fixing to go watch the one for one of these others that I've put here. He's got quite a few videos, and we're good friends with him, and we appreciate him. And I like blacksmiths, man. It's cool stuff, Rob. When you can put the hammer and make stuff, that's always pretty cool. I don't have that kind of talent. Usually when I take a hammer to something, it's not pretty. So we do appreciate it. Thanks for staying through the commercials. We appreciate you so much being here. All you folks on Instagram, thank you so much. You are growing so very much. We're on about 8 different streams right now, and we appreciate everybody that takes the time to come into the Southern Fried Podcast. And when Rob gets back in, we're going to talk a little bit about Southern sayings for the bulk of the program. And I enjoyed the conversation, though. I really did. And this will extend into another Monday night as well, I'm sure. And Wednesday night, I want to. Well, there is the man. And so we appreciate his dropping in, but definitely go and Half Pine Forge. Give that Rumble channel, just blow it up. It up, watch the videos, share it out, follow it. I mean, the man's got, I think, not that we have a ton because we don't on Rumble, but I think I looked, he got like 64. Come on, man. As Joe Biden would say, come on, man. That needs to double like overnight. Y'all go give this man a follow and watch one of his videos and forward it out to your contacts. He's good folk. And like I said, you can't beat a good blacksmith. I mean, you just can't. So. We have said that you and Rob are on some sort of mind meld or something. Y'all think on the same wavelength. So somehow that must have went over to me from Rob. That's scary to think about, but that is odd timing though, brother. But absolutely, we appreciate you stopping by. We just took a break and we was trying to get all those in, and but hope we can be a help to you.
Hey, Dave, you know what they say about speaking about the devil?
No, I don't, Rob.
And he'll appear.
Oh, he'll appear.
We're glad everybody's here tonight. All right, we've been waiting with bated breaths for over an hour now. Dave's got something special for us tonight on Mama Said. Said it's in his back pocket.
Well, it is Mama Said, and so we're going to talk about some Southern sayings, and we're not going to get to all of them. This is going to have to be a 2-parter for sure, but we'll get through quite a few in this next hour or so. Okay. Number 1, and Rob's going to be, I'm going to let Rob likes to be the voice of unreason here, or reason, I don't know which, and anybody can chime in the chat.
And Michael both. Everybody assists.
Yes, please.
Drop it in the comments. What you think the sayings, where they came from, right?
And like anything, wrong answers can apply because funny is funny. And so we'll give what we think it means. And then if you want to have something else that goes with it, that's fine too. Number 1, are you ready?
Yes.
He could eat corn through a picket fence.
Oh, he's buck-toothed as heck. You talk about having gap teeth, snaggletooth, buck-tooth. Yeah, that's where that came from. That's easy.
That one is pretty easy, but if we had something else that meant, what would it mean?
Through a picket. Maybe they was narrow-mouthed or something. I had like a bird beak or something.
I was thinking maybe that is a secret message about politicians or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how else that would really apply. Unless you're that miserly or something. I don't know. I don't know. All right, what's your next one? We got that one pretty quick. I'm fairly confident that that is correct.
Well, that's what they said, that he had gap teeth. So, all right, number two. I'm gonna skip number two and go on. I'll come back. I'm saving number two.
Okay.
Not because it's any more special. It's just because it's one that we use a lot. I reckon.
Well, a reckoning is considered to be a guess. So I reckon, I guess. I mean, those are kind of interchangeable.
They say it's the same as I suppose, which means you did not get a solid answer. I reckon.
Okay.
That could be a yes. That could be like, I really don't want to answer this, and I'm just saying I reckon.
Yeah. So,
Because I think it extends beyond.
well, you could ask your daddy, are you fixing to give me a whooping? I reckon. That's a yes.
But
Mom,
yeah,
you
it
want
can
to
it can be that, or I suppose. But I think people use it sometimes in ways that it's not clear. They just it's vague. It can be vague as well, I
You want me
believe.
to come by and help you tomorrow? I reckon. I don't know. It seems to me like that's more of a yes instead of a.
I can tell you, people use this evasively because I've had I reckons turned into nobody's showing up.
Yeah. We've heard of a dead reckoning. Oh.
I'm just telling you, people use it different ways. I get what it means, but I'm telling you, when you say, we going to go somewhere tomorrow? I reckon, and then you can't find them with a posse and a shotgun. I mean, I'm telling you, sometimes it's not. I think they think it leaves a door open for them.
Okay.
All right, we're living in high cotton.
I know what that is. You're living in good times, and you've got high cotton because the taller the cotton plant is, generally the more cotton there is on it. So you got good times are coming. That cotton.
They say that it represents wealth, and you're considered wealthy.
Yeah.
But when I've heard that used within my family, nobody was wealthy.
And so it's more than just wealthy. It's being in good place. High cotton.
High cotton.
Yeah. Alabama made a song about that. Walking in high cotton.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Did they make a lot of money on it?
Yeah, it was number one, I think.
I don't know. I mean, I remember it, but they made a lot of money. Fixing to.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna in just a second when I have time.
See, I'm fixing to. Fixing to can also be manipulated.
Yeah.
Fixing to could spread out over 3 days. I'm fixing to.
Well, it's
Fixing
like,
to. It should imply that I'm in the next few moments or a little space of time, I'm going to do that. But fixing to gets manipulated as well.
It depends, are the fish going to start biting? Well, they're fixing to. Or if your wife says, "Hey, will you fix the dishwasher?" I'm fixing to. That could be 2 weeks. There's a minimum there. When it breaks and when you fix it, there's a time limit there that you have to accommodate.
Wouldn't that be a wrong use of fixing to? Like, how would you even know the fish are fixing to bite? I mean, wouldn't that be a wrong? That don't seem like that's a proper use of that phrase.
Well, it depends. Like if you were going fishing, say they're fixing to start biting, You're right. That would be misnomenclature. But if I go fishing and say they're fixing to start biting, means I'm fixing to start casting, and they're going to be biting. Just saying.
Nah, that's BS.
See, you go fishing, I go catching. There's the difference.
That's BS. Come on,
No,
man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. I mean, it could be getting down where the sun's going down or the sun's coming up. You got that duskish or dawn, early morning, late day,
Duskish.
letting the day bite. That's a thing, dude. They're fixing their start.
So you're telling me you've never went out and fish have never not bitten, biting on the, getting on the hook and biting the, whatever the bait is. You never went through a dead period where they didn't bite.
David. Yes, that has happened.
Okay, then that would be wrong use of that
Well,
phrase.
I wouldn't say they're fixing to start biting then.
That's because you don't know. You're hopeful.
Look, let me put
Your experience tells you that they probably
I'm
will.
a fisherman. You can't ask me
That
questions
don't mean
like that if you want a straight answer.
you're acting as though I've never fished, man. Come on, man. What do you mean? Like you think I've never fished?
Have you fished?
I have.
Did you catch anything?
Sure.
What'd you catch?
Depending on what I was fishing for. Catfish, bass, brim, deep sea
Oh.
fish.
Michael don't come up with one there.
Well, we ain't there yet.
We got that one on the list?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Cattywampus.
Diagonal.
What?
Cattywampus is diagonal. It's not straight line. It's cattywampus.
It just, they're saying when something is slightly askew,
It's not straight. It's cattywampus. Diagonal.
where's that come from?
Darn if I know. I know what cattywampus is, though.
I don't even know what to say to that.
At 80 miles an hour, and you mean fish, not a deer.
You mean a Ford Escort will go 80 miles an hour?
He had a
I had a Ford Escort once.
I did too. The station wagon. I loved it. He had his foot outside kicking the road to help it get up to that speed.
I'm sorry, I have to ask, how did you hit the what'd you run through a creek? A pond? Oh, a lot of risk involved in a high water.
Did you make it across? That's what I've got to ask next. Did you make it across?
I just wish there was video.
Me and a friend of mine, good friend of mine, he's been on here before, old Tommy. I had a Ford Escort wagon with the hatchback and everything. That car would not drive up them old roads for nothing. I mean, we took it out everywhere, old mountain roads and stuff, gravel and stuff. They wouldn't drive up nothing, but it backed up anything. We run that thing in reverse on the So ice cold water. Made about 3/4 of the way, stuck ice cold water into the intake. Oh, we got deep. Broke 2 rods and one that puts 3 holes.
That's a story, man. I like it.
And let me guess. The smallmouth went up in the holes.
This is one of those stories you tell when somebody thinks you're like a gathering, and some guy thinks he's all that, and he's talking smack, and he tells his best. Well, let me tell you what I did one time. And you just lay in wait. You let the old boy run his mouth, and you go, "Well, man, that ain't even close to what I've done." And the guy, "Well, what have you done?" And you pop that baby out, and the guy's like, "That's bull crap. That never happened." He knows he's been beat.
I should have called you Skipper. Where's Gilligan?
Captain Moonshine.
You went on a 3-hour tour of the creek.
This guy comes out with more names than I could make bands out of than I've ever seen, man. Tell me that wouldn't make a great Captain Moonshine. Tell me who wouldn't love that if you were going into a rock and country top club or something and they had on the sign out front, "Tonight live, one night only, Captain Moonshine." Tell me that place is not packed out, dude. I love it. No, it's good. It's good. I actually wanted that. Rob was being too straightforward on that. I told him to come up with stuff. And he's over here going, "Well, that's what it means." You know, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. That's our saying tonight. Usually Rob plays along a little better. Oh, my gosh. All right, number 6. Are you ready? It's an easy one. But I've heard this a lot. She's pretty as a peach.
Well, really and truly, this means that she needs to shave. The peaches are fuzzy, and you have like peach fuzz on her face. They need to shave. That's what that means. And they just don't want to say. They want to say it nicely.
They say that there's a pretty high compliment in the South. There's nothing quite like a Southern peach.
Well, they're right. You know, once you get all the
but I get what you're saying. So you're saying you went out with some girls that you said one of us needs to shave, and I don't think it's me.
Well, we got a time or two like Velcro. Throwing that out there.
Oh man, this next one will go straight on with Steve's story. Always tell the pretty girl.
Prettier silhouette can be on a mud flap.
That's pretty cool. I haven't heard that one before.
Hey, if that ever works, she's a keeper. Okay?
He's a keeper. There's no doubt.
She'll probably have a dip of Copenhagen too.
No, if she says, she's a keeper if she says, well, that depends. Is it a Ford or a Chevy? Because that's going to decide what the true compliment is.
Yeah, well, what if she says it's on a Mack truck?
Well, that's acceptable too. That's even an upgrade from
that other truck because that's going to lead us down a road we don't need to go. All right.
All right. He was as drunk as you know the rest.
Cooter Brown?
Cooter Brown. He was as drunk as Cooter Brown. I've heard this one a lot in my life. And it wasn't about me.
Drunk as Cooter Brown. I don't know who Cooter Brown was or is.
Well, he was a guy that lived, around the Mason-Dixon line. And, he didn't want to fight in the war. So he had family on both sides, which a lot of people did. So he decided to get drunk and stay drunk. That's who Cooter Brown was. He just got drunk and stayed drunk. He didn't want to fight.
And they called
he was a drinker, not a fighter.
And they called him Captain Moonshine after he drug his wagon through the creek.
That's right.
And they got that cold water in their nose, and it slung a rod, and he had 3 horses about 9 months later. Okay.
All right, number 8, I'm calling BS on. I get it. I think people have used it this way, but I know what I mean when I say it. They just simply say the word Coke, and I don't mean the snorting kind. That if you use that in the South, that means any carbonated soda.
Any beverage.
No, BS, man. If I say Coke, I want a Coca-Cola, man. Come on. Come on, man.
No, they're all
Come
Coke.
on.
What kind of Coke do you want? Sprite. What kind of Coke do you want? A Dr. Pepper. I mean,
No, they said any carbonated soda, man. Come on.
yeah,
Come on, man. That's not, that don't mean Pepsi. That don't mean,
yeah.
come on. No,
What kind of Coke you
no.
want? Yeah, Mountain Dew.
Coke means Coke, buddy.
Oh.
If I'm saying, if I'm going in and order a Mountain Dew, I'm
Hey,
ordering a Mountain Dew. I'm not saying Coke. I've never
Hey.
done that, man.
you're the one from the pulpit called them sodas.
Well, that slipped out. But I was thinking
You got 2 points for that.
I was thinking from my Yankee side, you know. But I've never said that. I didn't go in a place and say, "Give me a Coke," and then bring me a Fanta drink, orange drink, and me go, "Oh yeah, that's great." No, that's not the way that works, man.
Look, hear what Steve said. It's not just me. And I think you might be the odd wheel out here.
We go. I said I've heard it used this way. I don't buy it though. It's bull crap.
Okay. Michael just had a good one. She's as happy as a dead pig in the sunshine. Oh, Michael, I love that one.
I hope you didn't use that as a pickup line.
No.
Come on, man.
No, that's just fine. She's as happy as a dead pig in the sunshine. What?
Yeah, I know. Well, he's up there above, you know, the Mason Dixon line. You know? Yeah.
No,
How many times have you used that, Rob?
none. If I ever asked for a pop, I was joking.
All right, a good mama term here.
All right.
Quit being ugly.
Oh. That's. I got an answer for that, but I had to throw that up there. Okay. Quit being ugly. Okay. The moms that use this term generally didn't know they were, how to put it, a little looser, and they weren't exactly sure who your father was. And when they tell you to quit being ugly, that means that you're looking a little bit like him, who they think it was, and they want you to be the better looking one.
And that's your final answer?
No, it means quit misbehaving. But I'm just trying to be in the spirit of this thing.
I'm good with it. They say it means someone is speaking rudely. Rudely.
No, it's a lot more than speaking. You got a kid pitching a fit, you look at him and say, "Hey, quit being ugly." That's a warning, dude. When Mama said quit being ugly, that was a warning. You better quit being ugly. Just saying. That was one of Mama's warnings. That's important to know. I mean, it could happen grown up. You could be sitting around the table. That's the other part of it. Well, what my parents tell me to quit being ugly, they're the ones that made me look like Shrek.
This is a good point in the program to ask this question.
Okay.
All new life is precious. Thankful for it, but not all babies are pretty.
No. No.
Sometimes you have to tread real lightly. Because, I mean, honestly, they come out looking a little rough. I mean, sometimes, and I get why, but some looks rough. Oh, what a beautiful baby! It is beautiful life. It is, but sometimes it's not a pretty sight.
Smacked me on both ends when I was born and said, "Oh boy, twins." Mama was surprised. She thought she had twins too.
You ain't right.
Hey, at least they didn't have to tie a pork chop around my dog to play with me.
Why is it always a pork chop? I mean, couldn't you do that with a hot dog?
You know, nobody would want to waste a T-bone.
I wouldn't want to waste a pork chop either.
Hey, that's better than being breastfed with a slingshot. That's ugly.
All right, number 10,
Wait a
highfalutin.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I've seen babies that look like a Chucky doll from the 60s. I have two, sir, and that's some scary.
Oh, man.
So you just gave birth. What was it Bill Cosby said when he was doing the thing on childbirth? And his wife, and the baby finally came out, and he looked at her, and the doctor cleaned it up, and it wasn't getting any better. And he went up to his wife and said, "Honey, I love you very, very much. But you just gave birth to a lizard."
Ouch.
They slapped both ends. That's what I was telling you. They said, "Oh boy, twins." What do you mean the wrong end on me? That's not very nice.
Michael going all nuclear on us tonight.
That's right. That's all right. I was getting on him pretty good too.
All right, highfalutin.
Highfalutin. Oh man, you're. Chimneys have a flue in them, and you have to keep those clean. And the ones that are high up, this is generally a pretty skinny person, but crawls up the chimney and cleans the flue. And those flues are pretty high up, so you're highfalutin. Just saying.
Someone that they say that it's someone who thinks they have more class than they actually do.
Yeah, they're uppity stuff.
By the way, everybody has some family. Usually, there's one section of the family. It might be cousins. That's like that. If it's big families, we in the South had big families, and there's usually a group. They think that. And everybody in the family knows it, but they don't call them out on it. They just deal with it.
Yeah.
They say it behind their back, though. They highfalutin. They think they're better than we are.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way them people down in Florida feel about us Georgia folks. And Tennessee, too.
He's too big for his britches.
Well, this particular saying came out about the time of Junior Samples. And for those of you who don't know who Junior Samples is, shame on you. But they didn't make britches in his size. He outgrew them, and he had to wear overalls. So he had gotten too big for his britches. But that's not what it really means. It means you're being rambunctious, and you need to be put in your place.
There's your fix for the drooping pants. Just have them wear overalls.
Yeah, suspenders. Now, do some research for me and find out if this is true. Now, did they bury Junior Samples when he passed away in like a big piano case or something like that? I don't know. I've
read this story and I don't remember what it said. I don't remember. Rob is channeling his inner Cliff Clavin. Ouch. That's a rough saying.
Whoa. That is a rough one.
Did you ever have to use an outhouse, Rob?
No. I have used a porta potty. That's about as close as I want to get to one. I like Junior Samples. He was funny.
All right, you ready for number 12?
Yes, I am ready for number 12. I'm done looking up. Do you saying?
Over yonder,
It's over
right? But where's there and where's yonder?
there. Okay. This is coming from the Indian word yon and dur. That's two different Indian words, and they combined them. And when you say over yonder, it's over yonder. It means it's almost unattainable. It's like where the great spirits live. I've heard that one before and had it used on me. I didn't like it. It kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Yonder is a magical, spiritual place that you might never find.
That's true. Yonder, over yonder. Yonder is used in the Bible too, so
Yeah,
very, very old and ancient word. Yonder.
yeah.
I like it.
I
You say over
no
yonder.
Indian word. I wonder, they didn't come across no Indians in the Bible. They couldn't use yonder. Okay, maybe they could. Hey, yeah. Okay. What's your next one? We got this.
There's not a pot too crooked that a lid won't fit.
All right, number one, I'm going to differ with that.
Is this one that the Captain Moonshine would use? Because it sounds like something to be associated with moonshine.
Yeah, I've never heard this one really used. I wonder if it has to do with a hat.
They say it's Southern positivity at its finest. This saying means that there's someone out there for everyone.
Okay.
I've heard that one a lot too, Michael.
Yeah, and according to that there's not someone out there for everyone. There's no. Well, how'd that go again? There's no.
There's not a pot too crooked that a lid won't fit.
No, we gotta get Steve's in on this. Oh, we gotta get his take on this one. Okay, there he goes. Let's see what he said. Reminds me of the phrase, he's so crooked he could eat nails and crap out corkscrews. Thank you. We'll just change that word. How about that? He's so crooked he could eat nails and crap corkscrews. I think that's closer on that one. I really do.
Heard this one a lot too.
Yes.
Will you quit popping it down? Rob.
He ain't got a pot to pee in. The way I've always heard, he ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
This right here is classic, and this is a perfect saying from Mama Said for this program. Because there's a bunch of mamas when their daughter brought somebody home and she took her to the corner of the side and said, "Who is this guy you've brought home? This guy ain't got a pot to pee in. He can't take care of you," because, she comes in and said, "We're going to get married, Mama."
He ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. What are you doing? Get him out of here.
Yeah, he gets fast action out.
Yeah.
They let daddy and boy have conversation, and the daddy says, "You can't take care of my daughter. You can't even take care of yourself, boy." My daddy said this one a lot. "I'm so full, I'm about to pop." And usually Dad would say, as closely as he said that, his belt was being loosened. By the way, is this acceptable Southern? I just want, because I think it is, but there's a lot of people that think it's horrible. But I can tell you that my family, if dinner was great, you knew it was great when Dad loosened his belt and unbuttoned the button on his pants. It didn't come down, but he had to make room. That's what my dad would say. "I got to make some room. That was a good dinner." But he didn't say he would say about the pop, but he would follow it up with loosen the belt, unbutton the button. He always had button pants. He didn't have the other kind. And he would just get the belt where it would still hold up, and then he would lean back in his recliner, and that was me. He was going to watch the nightly news or something and holler at Walter Cronkite or something. So that was my dad.
But see, the horrible part about this was a terrifying moment for kids back then. Because this was back when Dad still used their belt. So when Dad would go to loosen that belt up, we didn't know if he was just full or if we had messed up. We were hoping he was just full.
Well, you definitely paid attention.
Yes. So full you're about to pop, yeah.
Now you've got us wondering, Steve.
All right, let's see here. Every guy in my family special pair of
No, not that one. This one first. It's gross.
That was the one before this about a pot to piss in. And this is a good one too. Or something very similar with that. And the special pair of brands that we affectionately call our Uten brands. And those are the ones with the elastic waistbands, right? Like sweatpants and stuff.
That would be your Sunday. That would be your Sunday go to meeting pants. Everybody had clothes that they would put on for special occasions.
But they don't like it when you wear sweatpants to church.
Well, no. But all these young people wearing their pajamas out to the store and everything else nowadays. I saw a guy wearing pajama shorts. I'd never even seen them before. Pajama shorts. He was wearing them out to the local store.
Mm. All right.
You can't yawn.
Oh, dude, it's been a long day. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really interested in what he's doing here.
Well, sit up. He's laying down there. You're going to sleep, Rob. Sit up.
No, I can't. My back's killing me. I'll try. No.
All right, number 15. You look rode hard and put up wet.
Oh, we can't talk about that today.
Hey, you dirty minds. This says, let me give you the thing. It just says when a horse is ridden for a long time, they begin to sweat. Before being put into their stalls for the night, they're usually cleaned up and dried off. When someone says you look rode hard and put up wet, it means you look unwell or uncared for. Where are you going with your dirty mind, Rob?
That's not what it means down here. That might mean what it means up north of the Mason-Dixon, but that ain't what it means down here. And the fact that you knew exactly what I was thinking means you know exactly where I was.
I've just heard people like you talking before. That's what I'm saying.
Oh. All right, he's got his thing here. I'll run through the gist. Back in the olden days, those on the upper crust would purchase pee for dental care. That was actually true. The Romans did that. Yes. Poor folks didn't have any way to earn income, so that's what they do to make money. That's true. If you didn't have a pot to pee in, so it means you were so poor you couldn't even sell your pee because you didn't have a way to hold the pee. That's probably true. I know the Romans actually they used urine for a lot of things.
It may be true, but it is absolutely disgusting.
It is. But Romans had.
But they used pee to soften leather too.
Yeah.
That was a job.
The stuff.
People would that was their job. There was people that very poor people. That's what they did all day long.
Hey, have y'all heard the one? He's so tight you couldn't drive a 10-penny nail up his butt with a sledgehammer.
I've heard that.
You've heard that?
I've heard it. But I may have heard you say it. I don't know.
Huh?
I may have heard you say it, though. I do remember hearing it, though.
Or somebody just so uptight.
All right, number 16. If I had my druthers, what is a druther?
Oh, it's if I had my pick, is what it's supposed to mean. But a druther kind of changes the meaning of it a little bit. Uh, I don't know. I can't even make up one for that one. I wouldn't have a clue as to what a druther is.
They say if I had my way.
Yeah. Whipped him like a government mule. Michael, you better not be whipping nobody like that. I have heard
All
that
right.
one too. So
All right, this is yeah. My wife says that one about her own son.
Not baby boy, is it?
No, it's Jeremy. He's tight. Jeremy is the master at getting you to spend your money. He's tight. Now, granted, he doesn't ever have a lot of money. He does buy things for his parents and stuff. So he has a big heart, and he's quite the romantic. I've seen him go out and spend money on nice gifts for girls and stuff, but he tight.
No.
He'll play dumb when it comes to paying time.
Was that today?
No, it wasn't today.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that's what he'd say.
Oh well. I paid him to do some work for me, helping him out and helping me out.
Yeah.
I cashed up it to him. He said, "You didn't have to do that right now." I said, "Well, I didn't want you, sweating it." All right, I've never said it exactly this way, but it's blowing up a storm. They say this is for flatlanders because they can see it so far away.
Yeah, I've heard blowing up a storm.
Well, you're a flatlander, but I've never heard that. I've never heard that around here.
Well, that means the storm's developing. It's like around here we get a lot of what they call pop-up storms. It's blowing up storms.
Number 18, that doesn't make a hill of beans.
All right, well, it doesn't make much sense to pile up beans in a hill. Why would you even do that? It just don't make no sense.
Here's the definition they have. One bean isn't worth a whole lot of money, and a hill of beans wouldn't be worth a whole lot more. This is used to essentially say that something is worthless. So I agree.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want a hill of beans.
No. Hey, Steve, are you still out there? You better be. I got a question for you. If you saw a little dung beetle pushing his little pile of poop, and he came up to a hill and he was trying to push it up the hill and he couldn't get it up there, would you help him push it up to the top of the hill for half that little ball of poop? Well, go on to your next one while he's percolating an answer.
We're so poor we can't afford to pay attention.
Oh, I've heard that, and I've been there. Still am somewhat.
I think I have heard that.
So poor can't pay attention. Don't kiss that gal unless you want lead poisoning.
These next two I have heard so many times in my life.
Oh my God. He gave me a reply. I know this one. I just don't remember the specifics. About the cheese on that trout. So are you saying that you wouldn't help him roll that little ball of poop up the hill for half of it? It's kind of greedy, ain't it? You want the whole little ball of poop? That's not very nice.
Rob, this saying didn't work the first time you asked me that thing. I don't. Come on, man. Come on.
It's going to work one day. It's going to work.
It don't work, dude.
Like the dad joke just keeps on giving. Come on. Come on, man.
If you were to buy a book, Bad Jokes, that's got to be in the top 10. Come on, man.
Now, see, I've used this to describe Nancy Pelosi a few times. Well, it only works if you say no, Steve. So say, no, I don't want to poop. Sorry.
See, it
One
don't
day-
work. I
It'll work.
told you. Retire it, man. Retire. It's like
No, this dad joke's going to work.
it's like a federal employee. It don't work, man. Come on.
It does from home.
No, they're at home, but they're not working. They're too busy watching porno sites.
That's true. You didn't say that you played the way I wanted you to. You said you play.
All right, number 21. Can't, never, could. My mom said this a lot. Can't, never, could.
Well, when they had back when I was a kid, we had twist offs on adult beverages, and sometimes they'd have cap tops. And nobody carried a can opener. If you got the wrong ones, you got the top tops. It was a fight to get that lid off. But can't, never, could. You find a way to get it off.
All right, this one is the way they've got it phrased is not exactly the way I've always heard it. They have it. He was as busy as a cat on a hot tin roof. I've never heard the busy part in there. I've always heard jumpy. You're as jumpy as a cat on a hot tin roof. Means you won't be still. I've never heard it as busy.
I hadn't either. Have you heard the one? You're as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
I think my wife says that one.
I've had that one said about me a few times, Michael. Once or twice.
All right.
Like when have you ever had someone ask you how tall you are, Michael? If you say like 5'4" or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know they stack poop that high." Have you heard that one?
What was it?
They ask you how old you are, and then or how tall you are, and you say like 5'4", and they go, "Oh, I didn't know they could stack poop that high."
Yeah, I've heard that. Steve, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, we got a bunch of them, sir. We just can't do it. We're trying, and I'm trying to circumvent was,
All right, let's get a couple more in. You're about as worthless as gum on a boot heel.
I haven't heard that one, but I'm going to use it now. And the happy as a dead hog in the sunshine. I'm going to use that one too. But that's pretty doggone useless, when you think about it. The way I've always heard it is you're as useless as tits on a board. Have you heard it that way?
Yes. All right. Let me get one more here.
Okay.
This one, this definition I've never heard, but I've heard the saying a lot. But they leave a word off that I've always heard. They have she was madder than a wet hen. I've always heard she was madder than an old wet hen.
I've always just heard wet hen.
Where do they get that from?
You obviously.
They have a definition.
Well, I don't know what their definition is going to be. Useless as an ashtray on a motorcycle. That's good. bitty hens, especially game chickens, and even regular hens, they'll protect their little ones. And if you get up too close, man, they will flog the snot out of you. So I guess they're saying it's a matter of an old wet hen. I don't know.
Now, what they say is hens are rather broody when sitting on eggs. To get them out of that funk, farmers would often dunk the hens in water. I've never
What?
heard that before.
I have never heard that. I think that I'm gonna call BS on that one. I ain't never heard of that. Boy, if you had laying hens out there and they're still laying eggs, you took them out and dunked them in water like that, you would never get no more eggs. She'd be clean still.
Here's one that let me get one more. This one I like it. It might not be liked by females, but I'm sure I've heard some guys say this. She could start an argument in an empty house. We would probably say they would argue with a signpost, but I like that one. You could switch that around and say he too, but they put she.
hmm So I'm not even gonna comment on that. Not even gonna say nothing. Uh, because it's bound to get me in trouble if I do.
Farmers were ruthless. Peter would say so. You mean you took the chickens and you dunked them in water?
You know, I don't know. Do y'all remember when they were doing the ALS thing, the awareness thing, where they're doing the ice bucket challenge?
Yeah,
Did you do that?
I did not do that.
I got conned into doing that, and I did it. And that ice cold water right down my back and the way I clenched up. That's probably the way them hens did when they dunked them in that water. And I bet they never got no more eggs off of them because they wasn't, them hens were just saying. Dumb as a rock. Now I've heard dumb as a box of rocks. Now I don't know why a box of rocks would be dumber than just a rock. Maybe because there's more rocks. I don't know. Oh, where's Platinum at? Oh, that's
Instagram. Yeah.
oh, hey Platinum, I hope you're doing good.
They said they just got through watching South Park, their favorite show.
Oh, did Kenny die?
Yes, they would, Michael. Yes, they would.
Hmm.
Platinum Winds has one for us here, so
Okay.
hang on a second. Let me get her copied over.
Yeah. You can say that. Absolutely. Absolutely. That works. Uh, what about one of the classic ones? Are you ready for this? There's more than one way to skin a cat.
I've heard
Now,
that one a bunch. I've
uh
said
huh.
that one a bunch.
Yeah, you know where it comes from.
I don't know if I want to know this.
It's not from skinning real cats, but from
No,
cat
I think it's from
skinning cat
hides.
skinning
Oh,
catfish.
catfish.
Yes, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and people have different ways
Nah,
of doing it.
I'm calling BS on that.
What?
Never heard that.
Okay, I'm going to Google this for you.
I don't Google. Google. That's Financial advice from my grandma: just pinch that nickel till the buffalo. Oh,
What Michael says. What Michael says.
I don't care if he jumps in your camp. That's bullcrap.
The phrase, there's more than one way to skin a cat, originated in American folklore, with its earliest known reference being in the 1840s in a short story by humorist Sheba Smith, where he wrote, as it is said, there's more than one way to skin a cat, indicating multiple approaches to a problem on how people could skin a cat in different ways. We're still talking about catfish.
I like how you say that, Celtic Blacksmith. He's actually right this time.
See?
Ding, 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 ding. He's actually right this time. He's got one. Oh, I know it's a phrase. I would just say that the catfish part.
See, Michael used to have that tree and skin it like a deer.
And you talk about farmers being ruthless?
Well, he was a farmer, wasn't he?
I don't know. Was the fish dead or alive when you did this?
If it was fresh, it was alive. But he wasn't after he nailed it to the tree.
Big guys would just stand on them.
Oh my gosh. I just put some more out there. What is that saying? You couldn't find your butt with two hands and a flashlight? I've used that one, and I've said it to people, I have people say it, but you couldn't find your butt with two hands and a flashlight.
Oh man. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
No, Michael, you're a wonderful human being.
Yes, you are. Now, here's another old Southern saying. I know you're a little bit lacking in the height department, but what was the old saying? You're so short you'd have to stand on a nickel to we on a dime.
I've never heard that.
Oh.
Grandpa from Christmas. I'm sorry, Aunt Edna was my favorite character in the not the Christmas Vacation, but the original Vacation movie. And I can't ever see Grandpa without thinking about her. You couldn't hear her back up through the night. I've heard that one, Michael. I've heard that one. But I've also heard it in other ways too.
Or
that's the nicer way. That's actually a nice way. I've heard this much different, but same meaning.
Don't let nobody kick you in the butt. You'll be brain dead. Is that what you heard? Or roughly?
Many variations.
Yeah.
But yes.
All right. Well, we've gone over a big long list of Southern sayings, and I assume that you have a bunch more.
I do.
Okay. So we could take this up again either. Oh, we got show Wednesday. We got Hump Day News, but we're going to have Kenneth on. Correct? For now? Travis. Where am I getting?
Yeah, we need to verify that with him tomorrow that he can still do that. But he has the debate on the TV show at 9 or slightly thereafter, so he'll need to leave at 8. He's not that far away from there, but have time to get there early. I think he would still do that. He said he would, so he's willing to do it. And I hope to watch some of that. I'm going to watch that debate.
Now, I think Michael has, but Steve, if you get a chance, back up a little bit and watch your stuff on the Monkey Farm. We're going to have some stuff coming out on that hopefully within the next week or so, and we're going to be able to build us up a podcast one way or the other. And but kind of catch up on that and see what you think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's got one.
Yay, Michael. Awesome.
Travis vote for himself, I would say. So that'll be
sure.
2.
And his wife. That's 3. And all the family.
You know, it has happened at some point in time. Somebody has gone into a voting booth, or some official seeking election has gone into a voting booth and accidentally voted for the wrong person.
Now, what idiot would do that?
I guarantee you, in the history of this country, it's happened at least one time other than when Biden voted for Trump. He had the Trump hat on and everything. He was in there voting. He said, "Come on, man."
Oh, and don't forget, everyone, tomorrow at 5:30, they have the prayer group down in Bainbridge that they pray. So at 5:30, say a prayer for them.
Okay, absolutely.
They will be, if you're in the area, at the Willis Park Gazebo. That's where the prayer meeting's going to be down there.
Yes.
Tomorrow at 5:30.
And when you come down, we should be able to make one of those at least. I know right where that's at.
I love it, Celtic Blacksmith.
Yeah, light fire.
Light that fire.
No, it's the stuff on the anti-monkey farm and stuff like that. There's a monkey farm they're trying to put in Bainbridge, Georgia. It's the interview with Gordon Rogers, and there's Miss Elise Green Boyd. There's a couple interviews on there, and we're working up a good one. So,
by the way, I don't know who followed us between yesterday and today on Facebook, but thank you. I was so tired of seeing that number, and you gave us another one, and I appreciate it, and a like. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. We get tired of seeing those things, and then we start doing weird stuff. But then all of a sudden, it'll hold. Then all of a sudden, it'll explode, and we'll get 30 or 40 followers, and then it'll hold. But it's all right. It'll all come together. It's all working up. So, I've got something else to go over with you before we leave off there. So, okay. Yes, y'all do. Well, y'all have a great Monday. Glad y'all made it through the day. Now you got the rest of the week. Rock and roll this thing. Y'all got this. Weekend's coming. It's not that far off. I know it seems like it's forever away, but you got this. We're praying for you. We got you back.
I just have this image of Steve at his computer with the Kiss song that he wants to rock and roll all night, party all day, and make leftists crazy on X. Yeah. Want to rock and roll all night.
And drive leftists crazy on X. Oh, that's all.
No, I used to. There's a scene, and I gotta say this. Hold 1 second. There's a scene in what is the name of that movie? Was it Raising Arizona, where they try to steal the baby or whatever, and they're running down the road. The baby actually is laying in the middle of the road, like they forgot to put it in the car or whatever, and they run down the road. They're punching the roof and screaming as they're going down the road. I had a friend do that once. I was going down the road with him. He started doing that. It cracked me up. He was so into the songs that was on the radio. We couldn't hear nothing except music. I mean, it was screaming sound system, and he just starts punching the roof of his truck. And I just have this image of Steve doing that. Yeah!
I can see that. I can see that.
Melting my keyboard. Smoke coming off of it.
Yeah.
He's like a guitar player soloing. You know, he's in that hop notes. You know, so he's got his keyboard.
Yeah. All right, guys. Y'all have a great evening and get through this week. And I'm going to leave you with one last thought.
Hey, hold on. We gotta have this last thought, because Platinum Wins is going to win the last thought, because I don't know what yours is, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna post it for you, because this actually wins something.
Okay.
There you go.
We got to put that up on the screen there. Bernie Sanders has more hot air inside of it. I mean, and I'm talking about, like those great big hot air balloons. I'm not talking about helium balloon. I'm talking about one of them great big that you ride around in. You could actually launch. And if Bernie Sanders gets too much of a running start, it's a good thing he's old. Out of Congress and there's a wind, he starts to go up in the air, and you can hang on to his feet and go for a hot air balloon ride. I'm sure of it.
What a way to close the night.
Y'all have a great night. Thank you. Like, follow, subscribe, and we will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great week. Salute.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast.